This about creativity. This was originally about red black. What was the point exactly?
I think we transitioned to creativity.
Okay.
Just
We can go
transition.
back. We can go back
Yeah,
to red
we
black.
don't have to continue on it. I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we're
Okay. The
relatively aligned here.
recording's
is-
going.
On.
Only Mickey is playing like creativity, right?
Oh, well,
No one
Or
else in this
it-
chat is.
Hey, I'm gonna give a quick recap for just the video. Someone interrupt me if I'm wrong. So basically, we are currently talking about how Raktos is matchup spread, and then macro-wise, we have ruled out any Esper nonsense from Mickey, and it seems like people, like, just from what I'm gauging, no one really wants to play Azorius Control and any aggro decks, really.
I'm on control actually.
I'm also playing Azorius Control. I'm locked.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
no
sure.
one-
or thinks that control is good, isn't just playing it because of personal attachment, which I think is
Yeah.
just hating.
Sure. Okay,
No one is trying to recruit anybody.
No, I don't think.
No, I would not recommend. It's just a comfort thing.
No.
what else have we covered?
We briefly went over just generally what people are on, which the vibe I'm getting is a good number of people are locked either on like you said, we've got another couple control gamers. We got a couple people who are like waffling around like bring to light red, black, green triangle.
We were also talking about people should be locking a deck relatively soon, and people should, once you're locked, you should avoid playing leagues. You can probably playing prelims and
Better
definitely
uses of time.
challenges. hmm
We also talked about the predicted prevalence of red black, specifically because of its ability to be picked up by decent to good players. And so therefore we're sort of discussing how we're going to be tackling the metagame, given that we believe that red black will be by far the most represented deck at the RC.
We also talked about how late or early you should lock in the deck relative to the tournament. Like, who thinks now? I would say like at the end of next week or mid next week.
I think that about covers it so far.
Cool, yeah, I'm trying to, something that I wanted to do was, basically, in my other PT testing server, what the CFB team does to predict meta games for PTs is they have everyone fill out a blind form of what they think, like, the top, like, 10-ish decks are going to be, and then they merge all that data together, and it's typically pretty accurate on what, like, the converging metagame is going to be. So I was gonna make a thingy for that.
Great. That sounds
Yeah,
Top-
that'd be awesome.
Top 10.
Like, we
Sounds
can do less, but, I mean...
I think
Or we
if
do more.
if you're-
Pioneer is
if you're talking
so
top
wide.
Top five. Top
Oh,
five.
just
it's ranked choice, right?
Yeah, we can just...
Yeah, so 10 sounds right.
okay.
Rank them.
As we're
Yeah. Well, oh, actually, I wanna
Level or
have people be able to put in
percentage?
percentages. That seems pretty important.
Yeah, whatever works. I mean,
oh
I think any aggregation method you pick, as long as it is made in good faith, will probably get us something useful.
so we're just predicting how much of each percentage of a deck the PT will be. That's relatively pretty easy, right? Is that what Team
Well, if
CFC?
you think it's easy, jam.
If you
I mean,
think it's easy, then that's
like-
a huge advantage. I know I've got it
Like,
wrong. I got it
like-
wrong in my last two big Pioneer events.
Well,
Pretty
the
wrong.
Rakdos is
Yeah,
gonna
see, the mistake you made was that you're not Woo.
I see.
The-
Yeah, true.
Woo
Uh,
diff.
it was Pioneer's metagame was pretty stable. If you are, I was paying attention to the challenge top 16, top 32s leading to Atlanta. It's pretty close.
It was.
It was-
I wasn't expecting Paper to respond so quickly, but I guess it was specifically the deck that they was responding to. In the PT, there's red green, which I did not expect to be so popular.
People were jumping to red green to crush Rakdos and mono white, or they think they can.
Those are two great matchups for it, yeah.
Mhm. But I think what we've been seeing and what is going to be the metagame of the top 16, top 32 challenges going forward, next 5 to 7 challenges, is going to be very close to the PT percentages. Not PT, the RC.
Or so, yeah.
It will be very close.
I
If
have no
you-
interest in red green.
If we're compiling the data together, if we're adding like the next 5 challenges, top 32 together, and just do the portion, do the percentage, it will be very close to the RC. So there's basically 2 control decks, right? It's just Osiris and Bring to Light. Anything else?
Bring to
I
light a
don't think
control deck?
it's not a control deck. No, I
Kind
think
of a
blue red Gearhulk is.
Is
Yeah, Gearhulk is the other one.
I
I don't know if these archetype
so
definitions are super
you
important.
have to be more precise than just say control then in the question.
Yeah, well, I think that just means blue white control.
Yeah, I think control can rationally refer to blue-white control if we just
Okay,
all
cool.
accept that that's what's going on.
Or
I mean,
Esper.
I'm not really happy with how these percentages work, but I'm not sure how to set it up better. If someone has input.
Is there a link here?
I could do it, but it'll take
Oh,
like
you have the share.
probably
I
take
see.
too long to be worth it. Because you'd want to have manual input and then connect this to Google Sheets.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna do these because you can see the responses pretty easily.
Yeah, I think this is fine.
Yeah, this will be okay.
You can make them ranges instead of numbers if you wanted. But yeah, so this works.
Oh, sure. I mean, I guess I should say these all
The
have
ranges
error
are
bars around them
implied.
of like 3%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I will say that I thought was kind of interesting is basically no one here is considering Lotus, which is really interesting to me because not only is it like Handshake's like basically champion deck outside of Greasefang, but also has been like very, very impressive to me in my like testing over the last couple days.
I was considering it for a bit, like from the beginning of the
Up and
season.
down.
I've played a ton
Yeah.
of Lotus, and I think it'd be a good choice. I win more with other decks, possibly because I play them
I
better.
could not buy a match win of
Um,
Lotus in my life. Again, like could be easy
But
skill
hypothetically,
diff, but-
I like Lotus a lot, and I have played
hate-
it enough to like talk about it a fair bit. But
I hate playing it enough that I did not think it was good enough to want to play.
I'm in the same boat as Connor, basically.
I think it's a great choice. I can't play the deck for shit though.
Interesting.
I think there's something to be said about like the ease that you can play something over a long tournament period too, which is
Right.
why I think I shifted towards red black. Because it is going to be a long tournament day. If I'm tired, didn't sleep the night before, I know I can kind of ease myself into red black and be like fine.
Well, that's probably the only reason I don't want to play red black. When I turn off my brain, I'll just lose. Red black's too hard for me.
That's kind of interesting because I think like red black is pretty easy. It has specific positions that can be hard, but like I think like a lot of turns are pretty easy with red black.
This the eternal conversation.
But yeah, I don't know.
You just play your spells. What other options do you have?
Magic is
Oh,
hard.
easy.
So conversation just
Magic is hard, agree.
yeah.
I've heard like many people be on both ends of the spectrum. Some people are like red black's the hardest deck ever to play, and then red black is the easiest deck to play. So it's just kind of up in the air. I think it definitely depends on like your personal play pattern.
Definitely, if you are like very used to mid-range mirrors or grandy mid-range fights, it's a lot easier for you to pilot the Rakdos. But if you're
Well,
not,
Yeah,
it's
so
pretty hard. It's
I
definitely
guess
not.
what I would like to say here is basically like as someone who played like infinite like mid-range mirrors testing for the PT, like going into red black felt pretty like smooth transition. I've also played red black in the past. So it's like with that prior reference, it wasn't that really hard to me. And I think if you just have a good fundamental like magic baseline, it's pretty easy. But like if I had like a relatively new friend to Magic, right? And I was like trying to hand them a new Magic deck. I feel like it would be more intuitive to learn Red Black than it would be to like learn Lotus Field. But also, I'm not sure if it's necessarily productive to like talk about this now that I've just stated my entire opinion.
Nice job kicking the ladder out.
probably could have saved us that one, but
I think I will just agree with your endpoint that we probably don't really need to discuss this very thoroughly. It doesn't really matter.
Yes.
Wait, guys, I want to say my opinion first. Hold on. Just kidding.
okay.
Thank goodness.
So, I think, I dropped the link to the metagame thingy if people want to fill it out. While people are filling that out, though, I guess I'm curious what people think they should do over the next 3 weeks to be as properly prepared as people think they can be.
I personally need to jam higher level. So I need to either jam higher level moto events, test with people internally, or play on paper, and then like record my games. That's basically all I need to do with. And also, I want to write a guide to Angels, but that'll probably be a little while later. I recognize I'm like the only person who's playing this deck, but yeah, that's how I feel
I
about it.
basically need to do the same
Well,
thing.
I'm
still considering Angel.
You're
I'm
you're
not playing right
like
now.
like even
I can't.
with just yourself playing the Angels, writing a guide is also good preparation. I did
Yeah.
I did it all the Esper guide prior to the San Diego was very helpful. Like I have to reference to like Lucas and all those a couple other guys, and it was great learning experience just by writing it. So
Mhm.
just don't even worry about no one else interested. If you have the time, you can still write it.
Yeah, I'll probably write a guide and then
Yeah,
put
it's,
it out there
it's-
like a week.
yeah, it's not that time consuming. It's probably
Yeah.
like
Next week
equivalent to
maybe.
playing
Yeah,
a couple leagues. So
just like some of the sequencing for the deck is like a little unintuitive, but I mean the deck's pretty simple. So yeah.
right. But if people want target testing, most of us are like locked. You can just start DMing instead of like just say looking for games.
Well, I feel like it'd be pretty productive. I don't know. It looks like we have role tags for given decks. So if you just want to like go into, looking for game and be like at all Greasefang players looking for games between 7 and 10 p.m. Pacific time, like Monday through Friday, like that seems like a pretty easy way to like facilitate this.
Sometimes like last for the last tournament, like Brandon was unable to find another red black players to play test with. So I feel it's probably more efficient if you know that there's other people that want to be like play testing a certain matchup. I think we're all playing like top tier decks, so all the playtesting sessions
Well,
should be like in good quality.
We're a lot more diverse than for San Diego.
right.
We'd probably add the role and at least do
Right.
that first.
Mm-hmm.
Like we actually didn't have people in red black. It wasn't just that people didn't want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In terms of like people playing good decks, it seems like mostly yeah. I'm kind of concerned for the bottom half of this like roll thing. Like, I don't really think Spirits is that good, or Mono White, or Fires, or Boats, or like BTL and Neoform and Angels are like fine, like fringier decks. I also think Blue Eye Control is kind of bad, but it's like, if people are like locked into these decks, then I guess I don't know if it's like productive for them to switch at this point.
People definitely are picking roles that they aren't even considering playing anymore, just decks that they know how to play well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But also, I do agree though.
I just went back and updated mine.
There are decks that people have locked in at this point that I don't think are good. But
yeah,
they
it's
think they'll
really
play them
hard.
well, and that's a reasonable choice.
I think that's
so.
fine. I think
Yeah.
it's fine even if the deck is not good. It's Pioneer, like you only need to top 48, and yeah.
I mean, I do
probably
think it's kind of cope to be like, okay, the deck is fine, but like you're registering a worse potential deck. Like
The,
if you're
the problem is to a lot of people who lock on the decks, there's not enough time for them to pick up another deck that is like
Yeah.
first they need to find a deck and then they need to like have
Everybody's spot is
it,
different.
it just yeah it's right now it's like if we're having this meeting like 2 weeks ago, it's probably for most people we still have time to find a deck that you like that is actually good and to have enough practice. But at this point, unless you're like Julian who can play infinite Moto, I don't think like I know I'm locking into a bad deck. I don't think it's like
What they're playing doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like a discussion ender, right? Because that's the question.
No.
Like that's
Right,
the issue. Is that it's a discussion ender.
yeah,
But if they're not defending it, then it doesn't end the discussion. I
Yeah.
guess.
yeah, I mean my
It's more
point,
interesting if they defend it. Like I will defend mono green 100%. But
I'll defend spirits.
my
Okay,
point
that-
isn't to like
something to
be
talk
like,
about.
oh, you're terrible because like I think you're registering your deck is bad. It's more like I feel like we're still far enough out from a tournament where if you're able to allocate a decent amount of time to Magic, that like you should be able to pick up a deck that's better.
Yeah, that's an if. That's
I-
a big if.
I actually disagree. I don't think that's beneficial for the people who lock on so-called bad decks. I think just keep playing the deck you're comfortable with. This is a Pioneer, and this is fine.
Yeah, if it was standard, like
if it's
I'd be
standard,
agreeing with you.
I
but-
agree.
It depends on the person. If I get a good argument that I should be on red black or mono green, I will 100% switch. I don't know if I have any problem switching last minute. It just depends.
So if you if you are trying to like if you're like one of your intention is trying to convince one of the blue-eyed or the spirit players to like try something else and try to switch, I will have to disagree on that.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. It's not.
And you're not one of them. So
Yeah, like
So
it's not my job to like convince everyone to
Right.
play the decks I think are good. But also like I guess how do people want me to draw the line between like just being like I think what you're doing is wrong versus like letting people do their thing and not criticizing?
I think people hear the discussion that's happening and they can make the decision for themselves. Like you don't, yeah, it's that.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't need to tell people that their decision's wrong. They probably know if it's a questionable decision and they're doing it anyway. So
Yeah, it's not really your job, Derek.
It can be productive to try. I know that was productive with people trying to convince.
if
me
it's
to
your
play
good
Esper.
friend,
It led to
do
me,
it. If it's
improving the
someone
deck
you don't
where I
know that
thought it
well,
was.
just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
like-
have the metagame data for the Mana Traders Pioneer tournament that happened?
I wanted to find that because I remember looking at it during the event.
I couldn't find it either.
And it was
I looked for it.
So
interesting.
the problem with that is that you could only see the decks while you were like still live in the event. I think I might have pulled the CSV of all of the deck registrations at some point. Let me see if I can
Oh,
find
wow.
it. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, I found it. It's in my downloads. Yeah, I'll post it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, please. Yeah, I was trying to look for
The-
that because I think that's like
yeah.
the most like accurate big Pioneer. Oh, this is
Yeah, the problem with it is it's a CSV, but the way that Mana Traders organize their lists is it's by card and not like it's not sorted by deck.
Oh.
So it's like
Oh yeah, this isn't helpful.
you open it up and it's like a full list and then another full list and then another full list.
Is there like any RCs? Did we ever sort of there's RCs before like the American RC?
So I looked through it the other day. All of the ones that I could to begin with, Wizards said that they're supposed to be starting May 20th, which is this weekend.
Well, that's the
But I looked
scheduling
through.
list, right?
Usually the scheduling rings they say is when there's actually them scheduled.
Okay.
I looked through all of the websites that I could understand using, what I know and Google Translate, and I couldn't see any actually this weekend. There's actually a lot that are happening the same weekend as Dallas. The only one that I couldn't really find out was like China. Everyone else was either on our weekend or after. So
Yeah, okay,
I
so
don't
there's gonna be like
expect there
one
to be-
Moto event for like a PTQ. I believe there's a Pioneer PTQ or something on Moto that we can reference, but there's not gonna be a ton of data to like work with from other RCs before our event. So
Yeah.
I think it's probably just best to like keep a keen eye on like the challenges, but I kind of doubt much is really gonna change before our event. So we can probably like do this like sheet and then fill out expected metagame, and then you can start really honing in on where your like deck's strengths and weaknesses lie, and yeah, just like tune up the technical play.
I think I found the Man Traders tournament data, but it's not like you have to go in and swap it yourself, which I might do.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. All right, there's 90 red black. Oh, but now I have to know how many
They-
players there were. There was
Yeah,
560 something players, if I remember right, and 90 red black decks. Actually, this is sack because I just counted harvester. I could count. I could count Shieldred instead.
Can you stream, Connor?
Sure.
Yeah, they might be a little mislabeled, but I think we can take this at like
It's just a rough,
face value.
you know.
I'm just
Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite a bad system that they have for this, but I guess it's better than nothing.
Connor, instead of doing it by like by name, you can try doing it from here. It has archetypes listed out. I posted it in the voice chat.
Oh.
It might be mislabeled, but like 482 deck list, it looks like, from a month ago. So I think like this is pretty much the only high level Pioneer metagame data that we have over the past like 2 months or so.
So there's no aggregated data on like metagame share and.
I can try to like
I'm making
You have to
it.
aggregate it yourself.
yeah, I can try to like make a graph like this, but it'll take me a little bit of time. You have to like manually get it off Manager's website and then like use R or Python to like make a graph here. So
It's probably not worth the time. This is from like a few weeks ago, right? It's not even.
I mean,
like,
I think
recent.
I think it would be worth the time because it's like literally the only big Pioneer tournament
Right.
data that we have over like, and that's like last month. I think that's like as good as we're gonna get.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
very likely.
I'm kind of just doing some quick like name searching in here, and it's like just to humor myself, I put in like hidden strings, and I see hidden strings put 5 in a top 64 out of like 500 people and only had 30 entrants. Whereas if you look at Rakdos, it has 84 entrants, and it has let's see, it has 9 in top 64. Well, no, hold on. 1, 2, or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like, it has one more than Lotus while having over double the like a little over double the amount of like entrants. We can do like mono green now.
Krista, what were you gonna say?
I don't particularly remember, but I think this goes back to the same thing where like a newer player might pick up red black. So I don't think the conversion data like means that I think Lotus is purely better than Rakdos. I think a more experienced pilot is going to pick up hidden strings and register it. I don't think like someone new or someone who's like just starting the deck is really going to like go in and register it for a tournament like this. So I'm not sure that the like I'm sure it obviously like the conversion data is like important, but I still feel like it is one of those decks that like people just like pick up. You know.
Yeah, if you're comparing the win rate of Rakdos and Hidden Strings, like from Atlanta, they're like 8% apart. It's just a lot of players just picking up Rakdos without like really knowing that. That's true usually for the like the tier 0, tier 1 decks. You just see a lot of people just picking them up like without really understanding how to play the deck, which drive down their win rate by quite a bit. So we can't really like compare Lotus Field against Rakdos data. We can probably compare like Mono Green against Rakdos data since they're
Yeah,
both tier
well, I
1.
mean, if you compare it to Mono Green, like Mono Green looks to have done really well in this event. It's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It put 11 out of 55 into top 64. So that's like 1 in 5. 1 in 5 Mono Green players went like 7-3 or better, it looks like.
Or can
Which is
you sort that by like percentage and then post it in the chat? Post the image of it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just working on
Thanks.
sorting it.
yeah, it looks like the like percentages will be pretty helpful. And then you can just do like
Will it just work if I sort?
Can you not just select the column?
This was before the new set was released and they got
Right.
No, this is after
the new card, right?
this is after Polygonus was released, right?
It
Yeah,
was, yeah.
this is
Yeah. So I
yeah,
think I
this
think I
is-
think the Mana Traders data is just like gonna be the. I mean, of course, things have changed, but like it's literally like the only metagame data we have access to. After March of the Machine, I was supposed to grab from Fake Karsten, but like I don't think that's super reliable anymore because this is right before March of the Machine, and like Mono Green is like ship is down there.
yeah, it's kind of hard because like Greasefang didn't really show up that well in this event. I don't know. I'm just kind of like the most shocked by like the percentages from Ramp, but it's kind of annoying to not be able to generate the macro level outcomes from this. I'm sure there's a way to like easily write a script to grab all this data from this Swiss right here and then just manipulate it, but I'm not sure how to.
Well, I grabbed all the
Well-
data already.
Yeah, Connor did
I just
that,
posted in chat if someone wants to like sort it to make it look pretty. I guess I could have just made a chart of it, table.
yeah, I mean,
graph.
you just copy and pasted it into an Excel sheet, right?
Yeah, and then I made a pivot table.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but is there any way to like show when percentages based off of like metagame?
Yeah.
No.
Because we have all the records here.
Yeah. That
I mean,
it-
there's a
You wouldn't
way.
be able to do
That'd be
you wouldn't be able to do
hard.
non-mirror
Yeah.
though, obviously.
Yeah, but like, I guess that does kind of fuck with things. Yeah,
Sadly,
whatever.
yeah,
I
it's
would
not
just-
like
It would just drag the larger decks towards 50%. So like, I mean, we could still look at the data just with that in mind.
Yeah, I don't honestly like. The more we're sitting here talking about, it, I'm not sure it's super productive to go super deep on this.
No. Especially since it's just like it's a 900-person tournament, it's just going to be so volatile. Right? I think looking at it is useful, and like you said, going really deep is going to have diminishing returns pretty quickly.
Do we have the data from the survey we took?
let me finish it up.
Yeah, I don't think I actually filled it out for myself either.
I didn't fill it out either. Where's the? Okay, here we go. Give me another minute.
I do think like Hidden Strings and Mono Green are two takeaways from the Mana Traders event. Hidden Strings was doing really well.
Yeah.
And Mono Green too. Mono Green had great conversion. Compared to like its overall meta.
Feels like 5% and 10%. There should be something in between, but
Yeah, it's hard.
not just 10%.
Yeah. Theoretically, it's like you should be infinite or whatever.
3% rogue. 1%. There's no 1%. Creativity.
This could definitely have been better, but I made it in like 5 minutes, so.
Right. Mono white. Angels.
Cool.
Alright, I'm done.
All right. Summary. Yeah, general consensus, red black should be between 15 and 20%. Green should be between 10 and 15%. Yeah, this kind of tracks to me. Blue, white, somewhere between like probably 6%, 6 or 7% is what I'm getting from this. Grease Fang, people seem to be like 8-ish%. Lotus, yeah, it looks like between 3 and 5%, so like 3.5, 4%. Rogues, people are really low on like 3%. A little bit higher on creativity, looks like right around 5%. Kind of random in this mono white.
Mono white comeback.
Yeah, one
I
person
don't, I
said
don't see any world that and it's 10% is mono white. I think that's
It would
kind of
be
a
a
lot.
big comeback.
Yeah.
Or I guess 7% is like the lowest that 10% could be. But then you'd probably do 8%, I guess. But I mean 5%.
That would be a very large departure from like pretty much everything we've seen over the last month.
and then yeah, I don't know, spirits is this seems like fine spirits, and then yeah. I think spirits will be slightly more represented than a deck like Angels, just because people really like playing it, and it's like it was a challenger deck and whatnot, whereas Angels is kind of like more expensive for a similar thing and less popular.
Angels is actually wildly expensive
It
for
is,
like
yes.
its quality.
Is it actually?
Resplendent Angel
Resplendent
is
Angel costs a ton of money,
I
yeah.
have an extra Angels deck with like even both versions. If anyone.
Yo, Brandon is the
Yeah, I
is the
also have
number
extra
one
Angel deck,
Angels.
Yeah.
You played
Oh,
my
sick.
list. Or
Dibs.
this is not my list, but like close to it.
Yeah, but these decks are like $500 for no good reasons. Is this
Yeah.
the most expensive Pioneer deck? I guess Rakdos is
No,
more.
Rakdos is still like.
It might be Brindleite or something. Like there's a few, but as far as like money to play rate, I bet it's the highest if you somehow calculate that.
Yeah. And if you take the Bosejus out of Lotus Field, it's like
It's like free.
under $100. Or wait, no, it's not. What? What is money in here? I guess there's Otawara too. Kind of random. Why is
Oh,
Akama $20? What?
Commander.
Yeah, it's a great commander card.
It's so random.
Legitimately great.
Okay.
It is very random, but it is quite good.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. What else do people want to talk about?
So I guess from the survey, people think mono green is going to be overrepresented in paper, and they think hidden strings is going to be underrepresented in paper. They think and then the rest are pretty much.
I think the only people
They
who
think
are
Grease Fang is going to be
ranking,
overrepresented. And a lot of these I agree with. I think mono green is definitely going to be more represented in paper than online.
What did other Steven say?
I think the only people who are bringing Lotus event are people who have been playing it for a long time.
I think that
Would
Lotus
agree
Field
with
is
that.
always underrepresented.
Where
Yes.
where do
Yeah,
you see the survey results, Derek? Are you looking at the survey results, Connor?
I was looking at it because Derek was streaming
Yeah,
it.
I'm streaming it.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Forgot you're
good.
streaming. I forgot.
Yeah. Is it possible to like paste this? I can just paste these into the chat, I think.
You can just send all the results in terms of the link, I think.
Wait, really?
Yeah, if you just share. Well, that's sending the form. You have to share it, not. So I think you have to click on the three dots in the top right, and then add collaborators. And then yeah, now I think it should work. Either that or you just grab the link at the very top, like your in your URL bar, and that should work.
I don't know. I saw some leaks in the voice chat text. But
The
yeah,
I guess the
second
goal for
link
this
works.
meeting should be to finalize what everyone is playing, and then try to set up some schedule over the next couple of weeks, like get some practice sessions.
yeah. I will
People who are
say
still waffling is interesting to me, because that's like a conversation about choices, and I think they've limited it down to some good ones.
I feel like something that's probably notable is that along with like Lotus being underrepresented, like here, like these like the breakdown of decks basically is I would be shocked if there's like a lot of decks metagaming towards the top. I kind of, maybe not as much as San Diego, I kind of just expect some, like a decent amount of random stuff. Because even if you assume like 60% of the metagame is like made up by the top 10 decks, it still leaves like 40% of just random things, like 30% just like random stuff that people will bring to the RC, which seems kind of high when you say it out loud, but
Your deck's win percentage against nonsense counts. I think
yeah.
that's
Which
just a good thing
mono
to keep in
green
mind.
is historically extremely dominant against other. It's its best matchup at every event it's been in.
I agree. Definitely one of the selling points for that one.
I think the win rate at Atlanta was 70% against other.
Yeah. Other thing I was gonna add is I feel like often I've tried doing like when to meets in the past for practice, and it just doesn't work because like getting Magic players to like fill out a when to meet and stick to it is just impossible. So in my experience, the best way to get games is just like pinging people, like I said earlier. But I'd be open to trying something else if people have ideas.
Are you in Renton now?
I will be in like after the RC.
Oh, that's really inconvenient. Okay. Good talk.
Yeah, I'm actually going down to Seattle this weekend,
Very nice.
but yeah.
So I do.
Boston, are you still hosting the
Yeah. 3 days.
thing? Mhm.
Might add a fourth, depending on how the first 3 go and also what else is going on in my life. But
Is there like a testing event in Seattle?
Boston is hosting one.
there
Not
are
events.
3 days at my house where I am available for 9 hours.
When is this?
This Friday, next Tuesday, and next Friday. You are certainly welcome.
I may just like come down early and jam games when I get out of class on Friday.
Okay.
Cause I'm planning to hang out with Julian for the mocks, but this is unrelated to the meeting, so I will talk to you about it after the meeting.
Yeah, it's only kind of unrelated, but please talk to me after, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Feels
I
pretty
mean,
related.
something else I want to touch on is for like getting the focused games. I think it's really important that people are in a good headspace when practicing. Jamming mindlessly is not good practice, and just try to like make sure you are both like focused when you're playing, and then also it's pretty high quality to write like little mini reports. It doesn't have to be something super long, but even just like a paragraph about like, hey, played 5 games of like Greasefang versus Monogreen versus Steven, and these like new cards were really important, or I was trying a new sideboard strategy that was like pretty interesting, and little something like that can be really helpful in high equity.
Yeah, it's good to organize it by just making a thread in a channel, usually just attached to you can either attach it to the archetype or the deck type that you're doing, or we can just have general within general be a place where people put threads, but it makes it easier to access so that the notes aren't getting lost.
Also make sure you test more sideboard games than just game one, as you'll play more of those games at the tournament.
Yeah.
Like if you have time for 10 games, I would probably like play 4
and 6.
Yeah, let's do that instead of 5 and 5. Yeah, everyone should have everyone should have a solid plan of like what Ractal will bring in against you and what you are bringing in against Ractals. What your plan is. Just definitely make sure of that.
Oh, speaking of that, I think everyone should make like a sideboard guide. I have a template that people can use if they need it. Just message me, and I'll just post it publicly.
Yeah, just please post it. I would appreciate it.
Yeah, but like if you are playing a deck and you're not making a sideboard guide for yourself, you're just like stealing yourself out of equity, because also what like I did for the last RC is I had like 12 cards in my sideboard roughly that I was like locked on, and then I just filled out like my board plans for every matchup, and then it was just like pretty illuminating to see what matchup I wanted more cards in or where I had like room to like put more stuff in. Yeah, I don't know, it just takes like 15-30 minutes and you just get a bunch of like, hey, equity. It's also a great way to like share ideas and like, hey, do you like boarding out this way in this matchup? I don't know, it's just like free and like
It's a
pretty.
discrete object that can be discussed.
Building sides without mapping is just like wandering, and just guessing. Mapping is very helpful.
Yep. Yeah, I'll put that down here.
Often
Someone
you'll run into matchups where you're not getting good upgrades, which is all that sideboarding is about. Like,
Yeah.
if a card's good in a matchup, it doesn't matter if the card you're replacing is also not that much worse.
Yep. Someone wants to do a Dallas meetup. I'm probably getting in like Friday morning, so I could have some time to do something. I'd be pretty open to organizing a larger dinner if people are interested in that.
Yeah, let's aim for that.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Strategy.
Yeah.
This group is so fucking huge, though, so it's probably not going to work if everybody
Well,
is
it's not gonna
actually
be
available.
everybody, but like.
We can have 2
We'll
tables.
just invite the cool people. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
last in San Diego we had a dinner with like 13, which is it's got a long table.
Yeah, I mean, I think also part of this issue is we need to figure out when the event is actually finishing. Because, like, the PT got out at, like, a pretty different time. If I'm remembering, San Diego got out, like, pretty late.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wasn't in San Diego, but Atlanta was just like,
We-
okay, if you're not still in the event, we're just going to dinner. We'll see all the rest of you later.
Well, the Friday before the tournaments, like we're not doing much usually. We can get together.
Like,
Okay.
Friday night before the Saturday tournament.
Yeah, that's what we had our larger dinner last time, and we have a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty open to doing that. So, yeah, I don't know. We can just, like, follow up when it's closer. I don't think there's really a need to do anything super crazy right now.
Are you guys still doing the Zoomers house this time, staying together, or are you guys
No,
separated?
yeah, basically there was like 3 or 4 Zoomers coming, and I got an offer for a free Airbnb with a friend, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna organize something.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to get a group of like 8 to 10 people, but I couldn't find a B&B that is both large enough and close to the venue, so we just break into like hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dallas is weird.
Air Brian.
Yeah, I got a hotel room with like Donato and people. So
Yeah, we should definitely talk before the tournament, see if who's like living close by, if we want to jam some like paper or practice right before tournament. That's fine.
So, no one is interested in the last minute swap, or at least the not very last minute swap to Niftalite.
I thought about it, dude. I have those cards.
I'm interested.
I have a history, Connor, and those Niptolites are in my Card Kingdom cart. I'm probably not going to register them for this tournament, but they're in my cart.
Wait, are you talking actual Niftalite, like the Nifmis Dragon, or on?
Oh, the Nimtolite. No.
Actual
I
Niftalite.
thought no. Not
The
Nimbus.
Claudio deck?
Yeah.
It's not a real deck, right?
Well, it won a challenge. It is a great red-black
Yeah,
matchup,
okay,
and its
okay.
mono-green matchup isn't bad.
You need to asterisk that Claudio won a challenge.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some
Oh.
detail you're missing.
Yo, completely unrelated, but I saw Lucas posted a new list with like Chrome Sea Shark and Omnath BTL. Has anyone tried that?
Yeah.
Me,
against it.
I'm playing it right now in the
I'm
league.
willing to
Matt
try
also
it, but
played it in
a
prelim, but
little
he did.
bit
I don't know if he reported on Shisark, he said that it won him a couple games just by cheesing with Leyline.
Is it good?
He needs to play it more. He only played one prelim.
Jury's thoroughly still out.
Okay, I think that was
It's
just
currently
something
my top
interesting to
choice.
try.
Yeah,
It is.
I'll be interested to hear about that from more BTL people.
I guess that's not in my card. I should probably fix that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to be there the Monday before. I'm getting early to hang out with an old friend, so in case anybody else is in early, I'll be in town.
Cool.
Who was that?
Jared.
Jared.
Hello.
Hey. Just got a little late. Just got home.
Anyone
All
else
right.
showing up Saturday morning?
Yeah, Connor, I was gonna ask you, are you still planning on staying with us, or are you
Yeah.
gonna? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's completely fine. But I just don't want to like there's 4 other people living in the room. I don't want us to be like affecting your sleep on the coach. But if you're okay with it, yeah. You're welcome to stay with us.
I'm gonna cut the recording at this point. It seems like we're
Sure.
basically done.
That's
Yeah.